The dynamic duo is here, and you guys are going to see them in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
All right, you guys, welcome on in to the Pointe with Kristyn Burtt. So excited to be here. I'm really excited for this hour. I got to be honest, because guess who's here? Audrey Case and Will Thomas.
Yay.
Not only So You Think You Can Dance season 9, but also World of Dance season 2. And you're 1 and 2. You're just 2.
Yeah. Just 2.
Yes, I know. We'll talk about that in a little while. But
Okay.
I'm glad this worked out.
I know.
Audrey's
finally
been all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was vacation though, so
I know,
you know
but it
you
was
gotta take
good.
some time.
You look good though. It was like
It was
Spain,
pretty
and
great.
where else were you?
Gosh, we went to Spain, we went to Italy and France, and then back to Portugal. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, there was
Yeah.
like, it was like a 16-day trip, and I was very
I
lucky.
don't wanna talk
We
about it.
we like jam-packed everything too. We
It
saw all
looked
of the
really
big
good.
things that you could see.
Yeah,
It was
that
pretty
looked
great.
really good.
I took lots of photos.
I know, and she texted all of them to me, and I just kept.
Well, I texted a photo to Will recently, not realizing he was in China, and I was like, I hope it wasn't the middle of the night.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. You were at the academy, right?
I was at the TV Academy for World of Dance. For your consideration, that is for the Emmys, upcoming Emmys for
Yes.
season 1. That's what we're working into. And there just happened to be a bunch of photos of season
Yeah.
2 in the lobby of you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like starting to snap all the photos. And then he was like, oh, I want that. So I sent it to him
She
because
did.
I had his
She
phone
did.
number, but I didn't realize he was in China.
Ni hao.
Like,
feel like-
anyhow, like, oops.
Will's pretty much always in China.
Yeah, I go to China a lot.
It's a good place.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, Beijing and Shanghai, and then we're going to Singapore, which is not China, but you know, right?
No, it's not China.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well,
Totally
awesome.
different country.
Keep dancing.
Yeah, keep dancing, kiddo. And geography, we can always like pull up a
Yeah.
map and we
Yes.
can look and see
That's
where you're
what
going.
Google is
That's-
for.
What are you going to
Yeah.
Singapore for?
Teaching. We are going to teach in November at, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool workshop, and then there's also a big showcase too at the end. So we're gonna perform or duet. One of them, not sure which one.
Yeah.
And then we teach seminars all day, and then I think Sabrina Phillips, she's coming with us, and she's setting choreography on them. That will be in the
cool.
showcase. So it's a kind of a cool event. That's like all sides of it, you know, classes, performance, and
That's
then they get
amazing.
to perform as well.
And I hear that Singapore is very clean, so you'll have
Yes.
to like photograph that for
Did
us.
you know that there's no chewing gum allowed?
She's stressing out.
I am like, what am I gonna do after my coffee? in the morning?
Mentos?
I'm just gonna,
Because
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
chewy,
said.
but it's a mint and dissolve.
Exactly.
I've solved your
Apparently
problem.
they'll fine you if you have it in your mouth. So.
Yeah.
So when we see her in jail, never coming home,
Right.
we'll all remember
Exactly.
this moment. All right, I always like to ask everyone, kind of like going way back into your dance career, how old were you guys when you got started?
Started dancing?
Started dancing.
Oh,
Babies?
I was baby. Yeah, I was 2.5.
So you were the one taking like creative movement and everything.
Right.
Creative movement.
I was
Creative
the
movement.
one that we were supposed to be doing plies, and I was like improving across the floor. Like,
That's
in the
why
corner.
you're so good at it.
The one that was doing
Ever.
Tilt Tuesday before
right.
it was Tilt Tuesday.
Before it was even Tilt Tuesday.
Yeah. So, what about you?
I started it at 12, which is kind of normal for guys.
Yes.
They start a little bit later. But
What got you into it as a guy?
oh my God, it's funny. So my mom was the high school cheerleading coach at the high school. And so I couldn't be home alone, so I had to go to practice. And I drove her nuts. I would not leave the court. I would run out there, do all the dance steps, do the cheers, get in trouble.
I can see it.
Yeah. So then my mom was like, you need to do something. And my aunt said, put him in a dance class. And then that was history. I fell in love. So
That's amazing. Did they put you in ballet? Did they put you in jazz?
no, they actually, I was 12, right? So it was a 10 to 12-year-old class. And it was a hip hop class, recreational.
Yep.
And then at the end of the class, they were like, actually, you should join Dance Line and go up to the 13 and up level, just because I was so crazy. Not good. Not good.
Just
but
a lot of
crazy.
energy.
Yeah, they're like, you need more. So let's put you in this one. So yeah, then I fell in love with it and I joined Dance Line and then jazz, ballet, tap, lyrical, all that.
And so you're out of Michigan.
Yes.
You're out of Oklahoma. I love that. Now, where were you studying? Did you stay at the same studio all growing up?
Well, kind of. Like, for my first few years, I kind of hopped around a lot, just because I didn't even compete or anything until I was, like, a little older, like 3rd grade, 4th grade. But then once I hit 3rd grade, I stayed at Kim Massey Dance Productions, like, my whole life.
And did either of your studios, I always find this interesting, did either of your studios have contestants on So You Think You Can Dance before you guys? Or anyone that even made it close to like Green Mile or anything?
No, not for me.
No. I had one that made it to Vegas Week, and then I have one that graduated from my studio now that I believe is going to be on the next season.
season 15.
Yes. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I would know.
You would know.
But yes, I've been. Fox was like, you need to sign this and don't say anything. People will slide into my DMs all the time. Can you
for
just tell
sure.
me if like one
Just
just one
tell
person?
me.
Just tell me. And I'm like, that's all I need is to
Yeah.
put it in writing, and then
Right.
it's like someone tricking
Don't.
me.
Blows up.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
totally blows up.
Set up.
Kristyn Burtt said that blah blah blah's on this season. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting because a lot of studios do have sort of they're like feeder studios, that
connection
connection.
to- yeah.
They've had 5-6 contestants on the
know.
series.
Stars
was-
in Florida. I
Yeah.
feel like everyone
Stars
in
is
the studio
good.
graduates in that
Vibe.
studio and
they
goes on
just go
SYTYCD.
straight. Yeah.
Vibe in Utah has had
Yes.
quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many Utah people. I mean, Utah is just a great dance
it's incredible.
state, huh?
It's amazing what they crank out. And every time I turn around. And if
Yeah.
it's not Utah, the second state I found is Colorado.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like a Britt Stewart,
Oh,
Mandy
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Moore,
Kayla Radomski, right?
Kayla Radomski, yes, Kristen McQuaid.
McQuaid,
Yep, there's a lot of
There's
them.
a lot, actually.
Yeah, you don't think about it, and
Right.
then people start telling you I'm
All of
from
a sudden,
Colorado, and you're
Uh-huh.
like, oh, runner up to Utah.
Yeah.
Florida, I would say, is probably third at this point.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of Florida,
Yeah.
for sure.
Florida is very competitive these days, I feel. Just knowing from like convention and
Yeah.
stuff. I know they like it gets intense out there.
Dance Town is like cranking it on
Oh,
World of
for
Dance
sure,
too.
yeah.
So and America's Got Talent, they're kind of like the feeder studio for that as
Yeah.
well. So, what made you guys decide to audition for So You Think?
Well, for me, it was always like a dream of mine. I mean, this is kind of funny. So my family, my mom and I, we would watch So You Think from season 1. We would illegally burn it onto DVD, and I have every single season on DVD.
What was your
burned.
favorite season before season 9?
4.
4 is mine
I like
too.
4.
I love
5
4.
is really good too. It's like it goes 4 then 5 for
Yep.
sure. But yeah, so I have every single season up to 8, even 9 because it was our season, burnt on DVD, and I studied it. I loved it so much. It was a goal and a dream of mine to be on it, and yeah, so I knew it right at 18 that we're going.
So you had
Let's try it.
studied. What was your strategy for auditioning? Because obviously you had a strategy.
But that's the thing. So I didn't have a strategy. I just kind of I really enjoyed myself the entire time. You know, I feel like some contestants, which is probably the right way to go, they're like, I'm here to win. I'm here to get to this point. I'm here to whatever. I was literally just so shocked I made it to Vegas week. I was like, wow, let's just hands up. Let's do it.
Here we
So
are.
yeah, I didn't have a plan really. I just had a lot of fun. And just try to laugh as much as possible and, you know, work hard. But
What city did you audition in?
LA.
LA. So
Yeah,
you were
'cause
out here.
I moved out here in September of 2011, and then I auditioned in 2012, April,
Gotcha.
in LA.
And you were in Atlanta.
Yes.
Now we did not see your audition, is that
No,
correct?
no,
But we
no,
saw.
no.
I've seen your
Yes.
audition. I watched it again this morning.
Neck fart,
that
neck fart.
girl, neck fart.
I know the fart with the neck thing. They did not make
fart
you
with
lick
the
your
neck
elbow.
thing.
Can you still lick your
No.
elbow?
You know what? I don't know. I've been going to the chiropractor lately, so maybe not.
A little
but-
Can we
different.
pull your hair back? That's sick.
It's close.
That's
It's pretty
disgusting.
close. I can't. It's been a while.
It's okay though. It's a talent. Is it on your like resume under special skills?
It should be.
It should be. I think so.
sure.
You
Dang
never
it.
know who's going to call you in for that.
It needs girl who can lick elbow.
Needs girl, lick elbow.
I know. I'll be like, I've got just the girl, you guys. Let me give you her phone number.
Yeah.
What do you guys remember
can't
about your
believe
auditions?
I feel like I blacked out during my audition a little bit.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I was so nervous. I almost didn't audition for So You Think.
Why?
Because I thought I was like 18, you know, I felt like I needed another year of like knowledge, and, you know, I had only done my studio, and I was traveling then with a convention called Adrenaline Dance Convention. And I mean, I loved that, and I grew so much from just having that year, that senior year, and I felt like I was on my way to getting better. And I told my mom, I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this show. Like, I don't know if I'm good enough. And my mom was just like, you should just try. Like, what have you got to lose? And so I was like, I mean, I had been watching the show too for years and years and years.
What was your favorite season?
That is tricky because I think I was so young, I didn't really pay attention that much. But I mean, I loved season 8, the one right before us. Melanie was
Moore.
like my. I watched Turn to Stone every single day in high school, literally every day.
Yeah.
I was obsessed.
I should now say Broadway star Melanie Stone.
I
Yes.
know. She's killing it.
Come on.
That voice.
She's so good.
And she's
Yeah.
stunning.
I know.
Keep going.
She's so good.
I
No,
would
it's
say
true
that.
though.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, she was just like unforgettable. So that whole, I mean, I love that season. I just did. And I think I was close to like being the age to where I could, you know, relate to some of them.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of made it a little more memorable
More
too.
of an impression.
Yeah.
Were you planning on going to college, either of you, or was So You Think more on the radar?
For me, I started my application for Columbia Chicago, but I didn't finish it because I decided at that point that I was for sure going to try the dancing thing.
Yeah.
And then recently, actually, this past fall, I was speaking to a couple colleges to start my online courses just because it's something I want to do. But then a couple of jobs came up, so it took me away like for a couple of weeks. So then I like, kind of.
It's on the back burner.
Yeah,
you can
it's
always
gonna
go
happen.
college.
There, yeah.
It's
Yes,
always there.
Yeah, so.
I did not have a plan. I was so stressed out. Senior year, I did not know what I was going to do. I auditioned for like a few colleges, like Oklahoma City, and I also auditioned for Juilliard. Didn't make it past like
I
ballet.
know that. Really?
That's really
Yeah, I
kind of
did.
amazing to think about.
Whoa.
I
I'm
did.
surprised they didn't take you.
Well, I mean, also I wasn't super ballet trained.
Yeah.
My studio is more like ballet or jazz technique and like more focused on cleanliness and technique through routines. So that for me was kind of like it was hard to keep up in the ballet audition, but whatever.
You're here. It's all good.
I just have a hard time believing that.
Well, and I think also Juilliard is there's a lot that goes into it. Like you should try to get into their summer programs and like try to be more involved. But I wasn't that into it. I just was like, I'll try because why not? Drove down to Texas and like auditioned, but that didn't happen. So I auditioned for So You Think, and my mom just had a really good feeling about it. She was like really pushing me. She was like, I don't think you should worry. I think I have a good feeling. And I was like, how can you just like rely on
Mom's
that feeling?
instinct.
I was like, I'm stressed. I don't have
Okay,
a
but
plan.
this is also Audrey. In every performance or anything that she does, she always kind of gets a little bit nervous and worked up
I'm a
when
nervous
she's
person.
obviously Audrey
I have
Case.
a lot of anxiety.
It's okay. It's okay. But, you know, I go back and watch that audition because it's funny because, you know, I forget and then I go back and I'm like, of course. I'm like, Nigel loves that type of contemporary. It's a little flirty.
Yes.
It's
Jazzy.
super cute.
Yeah.
It's jazzy. Yeah, he loves that type of audition.
Yeah.
So,
And that was actually my solo for my whole senior year. Like I competed it at competitions. And Melody Lakayanga from season 1 actually choreographed it for me. And
She
so
knew, yeah.
yeah, so I think it was just like I loved that solo and I was really confident with it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
what was that? That was like a revelation on
I
air.
forgot. Oh, I just interrupted you. That's so rude. No.
Just go with the
I was
thought.
pretty much
Shoot.
done. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I just forgot.
Like
when
the light bulb went off. It was kind of
was. It's
crazy.
like-
Because I remember I was like, I blacked out in my audition. I don't remember. It's because they switched my style. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You can
but
say that.
Yeah. I was supposed to go in as a jazz dancer and ham it up and be all musical theater. And then Jeff was like, come back and you have to dance for your life right off the bat, like first time they ever saw me. And they said, go to contemporary and slow down. And I'm like, okay. So my solo, everything was like in the night. I had to like figure it out because I was a jazz dancer before. And then the next day I was a contemporary.
Oh, so so I'm just going to clarify this for people that don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
the
you
process.
audition for like the producers,
In your
which is
genre.
not in your genre and
Yes.
it's not on camera.
Yeah.
And then you were invited back, but he said you have to be a contemporary dancer and you're going to dance in front of the judges.
Exactly. So how it works is you have to, that first round, just in front of the producers and a couple all-stars. I think it was Robert
Yeah,
and
there's like
Sasha.
a table. Yeah.
And you have to get a golden ticket. Now he said, Will, you don't get a golden ticket. You have to stay after everybody auditioned, which was like hundreds of dancers. And I was like the first group to audition.
Terrible.
that's
So
a long
stayed
day.
all day
It's a lot of pressure.
and then had to come back and do it again. And then he gave me a ticket and then whatever.
He saw something though. That's the one thing about Jeff. Like he does see something that we don't all necessarily
Yeah.
see, and he's smart about it. You have to like. Sometimes you're like, I don't. What is he doing? And then you're like, he's probably right.
Yeah.
That's very true.
No, he's a genius for sure. For sure. I mean, like what he created.
Yeah.
What do you guys remember about Vegas? Because that is like, it's hell week. It really is. It's like initiation into dance hell.
I've heard it's been better the past few years. I've heard it's like not as crazy as it used to be.
You're not up in the middle of the night doing the group dances the way they used to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we
that
did.
was,
That was rough.
I mean, I feel like Vegas week was the hardest week of my life. At least one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. I was so scared all the time and so emotional all the time.
Weird.
Yeah.
Did you guys meet at all during Vegas week? to interact?
I don't think we
really.
really like connected yet.
Okay.
I
Not
pretty
until-
much, I had like one friend during Vegas.
Who's your one friend?
Kelsey Darby.
Oh, yeah.
So she made
She
it.
was there.
Yeah, that's where I first met her.
Oh, she's
And we
cool.
were like best friends when she moved here. She moved back to Pennsylvania now, but I mean, she was my best friend, my only friend, because I didn't know anybody. I mean, there was no one from Oklahoma that I knew, and yeah, I just didn't really have any friends. But I feel like you had lots of friends.
Well, because I already like moved to LA, I think by that point. So I had people who I knew from Michigan who came out to audition as well, and
Yeah.
ran into them, and then met a bunch of people in LA who also came to audition, and then made it to Vegas week as well. So I did a couple of people, but not a lot. I mean, everybody is like this in Vegas week, you know.
Laser
Yeah.
focused.
Which was hard for me because I'm not like that. I'm like this and want to talk to everybody. So I was just like
Destroying
running
the
around
set.
trying to find friends.
What was the hardest round for you, each of you?
Ballroom.
Ballroom.
Yeah. And well, because I had been prepared mentally for ballroom, I thought, until it actually happened.
It was Jaci Gillickson that year, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. And we did Big Noise, I think. No.
No.
It was Jason, though.
It was
Was
Jason.
it Let's Get Loud?
Yes,
Let's
that's
Get
it.
Loud. That's what it was.
A cha-cha. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, during
that's
my audition, actually, I had like gone up and hugged the judges afterwards, and my mom actually, they had her come down. They didn't show any of this, but my mom came down and hugged all the judges as well. And Nigel had whispered in her ear, "Get her in ballroom." So it was kind of like a little
Hint.
okay,
They
get
wanted you.
yourself
Yeah,
together.
that's cool.
And I took ballroom privates like up until Vegas week, and
You thought you were ready, and then Jason walks in, and you're like,
And
I'm
I was
not
so
ready.
scared. And I was like, well, I'd never done it with like, it's crazy because you're partnered with somebody you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and like you're just trying to make things work, and the connection is weird at first, and it's like a lot to take in, and you're also trying to think about the people in front of you, and it's just like so much. So that was hardest for me, I think. And group round was terrible too.
It's always terrible.
So
think.
terrible.
You made it through hip hop. Hip hop, I always
Yeah.
think, is a lot. A lot of
was
people
Twitch.
go
Well, that
down.
was the very first
Mm-hmm.
round.
Twitch and Comfort, I think,
Yeah.
did it that season.
Yeah, which it was super fun.
Yeah.
If it had been like intricate, I don't know if I could have.
Yeah.
A lot of people go
handled it.
down when it's nappy tabs. Like
Oh,
this season, it was
Yeah.
nappy tabs. By the time
really?
I visited Academy, and I was like, wow, a lot of people didn't make it through nappy
Wow.
tabs round. Like it was like a group, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it wasn't a group.
Oh, wow.
dang.
It was a sprinkling all of a sudden.
I think, yeah, mine, I think, was Sonia's round. Which
Sonia
was
Taya.
Jazz, right? But honestly, that was like 6 years ago. I'm trying to like remember it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems
But
like a
I-
lifetime ago.
I think it was Sonia. That was just hard for me. I mean, she demands a lot, and it's
Yeah, she
great.
does.
It's great, but that's challenging for me sometimes.
Well, and you started off your first week with Sonia Taya.
Yeah.
So
I
welcome
had
to the
her
live shows.
three times the whole time I was on the show.
That's good,
So
actually.
I really got to know her. The first week was stressful though because it was with Tiffany and Janelle, but Janelle got hurt like 2 days before the show.
Oh yeah.
And so we
remember
had
that.
to make a trio into a duet right before, and it was like completely different. Not
first
completely,
live
but like it was
taping,
hard.
too.
Yeah. So I was just stressed. And
Yeah.
we were doing like 2 other group pieces, and I was like, whoa.
I think we have the photo of that of Tiffany. It should say Tiffany and I know Tiffany and Audrey. Somewhere in there, and they have little buns in their hair. You guys look exactly alike,
Yeah.
which was a
Yeah.
big
I
thing
look
all
like a
season.
That was a
baby.
good match.
But
Yeah, we did look a lot alike.
the two brunettes all this season, and it was one of those. Did you ever think that you guys were going to sort of cannibalize each other just in votes because you did look alike? You had similar body types.
They had kind
it
of
is.
played into it a little bit, like during interviews and stuff. They would ask me like, "So are you nervous because Tiffany looks like you?" And I'd be like, "Not really. We're really different like dancers." So
You guys are babies.
Babies.
yeah, but I mean, I loved that duet. It was so fun.
It was a
so
really
hard, though.
good way to start the first
Yeah.
week, though. Because
It was crazy.
You had to be like, "We're gonna stay after doing this one. Come on."
Well, we were just trying to get through it. I remember it was like one of those that you like at the end you want to throw up. It was so hard because it was just nonstop, and Tiffany was lifting me, and then I was throwing her. It was like, but it was Sonia, so you just
Yeah.
have to do it, or else she's gonna like.
And you kicked off with nappy tabs, so didn't you?
Yeah, my first duet was Nappy Tabs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Love cats.
Yeah, love cats.
I
I, think
love
we have
that
the photo.
dance.
Wait, we've got the photo from that too. I promise you.
Thank
Will and
goodness.
Amelia, it should say, because it's so good. You know, it's funny. It's one of the numbers that I remember quite a bit from season 9.
Really?
You know, there's certain numbers that
Yeah.
always, and I remember because I was doing
Yeah,
AfterBuzz.
It's
We were doing
so
the after
fun.
show, and this was my first season covering So You Think, and I remember
think
that.
this is one of my favorite ones I did for sure. This one and maybe like another one, but this was everybody asks, you know, what was your favorite number or what was your most memorable? This is the one I say.
Yeah. Oh, good, because I was like, I remember.
Yeah.
So I
I
pulled the
love that
photo.
one. Yeah.
Fox has every single photo from every season on their press site.
Really?
So, yes, every.
Well, I'd be nervous to go to that site.
Yeah.
It's amazing to look and see how like young everybody is.
Well, that's like I like to watch. We just the other day we watched interviews of Will.
She does this when we're at group settings, dinner maybe, or lunch, or a pick. I don't know.
I just love pulling him out and being like, "Look at baby Will."
Just round and 18
Shut up.
So cute though.
No, you were so adorable. Your hair is so blonde.
and more of it.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, I love watching that. You were such a baby.
Glad somebody does.
What do you remember about your last couple of weeks on the show? Like, did you start feeling it? Because I think sometimes people do. Like, it's coming near the end. Everyone always seems to know the week they're going home.
Yeah.
There seems to be hints.
Well, for me, I went home with Lindsay, and we actually kind of felt bad because, again, we were 18, right? So I get it now. But we were at Mel's Diner on Hollywood and Highland after rehearsal one day, all of us, the top 8. And we were just sitting there like, wow. And me and Lindsay look at each other. We go, we're tired. I think we're ready. We're good. This is fun.
Time to wrap it up.
Yeah. And then Tiffany, I remember, was like, hey, so many people would want to be in your spot. I'm like, oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh.
Like, switch
She's
gears.
the one that
But-
had the fire.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Be grateful.
But yeah, so for sure, my last week, I was definitely like starting to catch up to me. And I remember it was my hardest one I had. I had Chris Scott with Lauren Gottlieb.
Yep.
And it was Boston house footwork. That was the style. So it's fast, fast, fast feet. I'm 6'5". That's hard. So
It's got a longer way to go to tell the body
I
to
was
move.
like, yeah, it was hard. And again, like it was top 8 weeks, so it was far in the show, and it just kind of was starting to catch up to me. So it did start. I kind of had a feeling, you know, that it was my time. But again, I enjoyed the entire thing, so I was like okay with it in a sense, which I don't know if that's.
No,
the
it's
right thing
okay
to say,
though.
but-
I mean, I think because I think people just go until they're
Yeah.
you're mentally, and sometimes I think subconsciously like
Mm-hmm.
the judges are sort of aiming at someone else to win.
Yeah.
And I've been telling everyone, listen to what Nigel says on the comments, because he will make certain comments and I'm always like, he's ready for this person to go. They're going to go home next week because no
for
one's going to
sure.
vote for this
They
person.
definitely nudge.
I try to
I
figure
do.
it out. I
People.
feel like I can't, because some then they'll throw a curveball, and I'm like, oh, but he really liked that one, and then she went home. So I can't figure out the
I'll let you
judges'
know.
comment. Yeah, you got
I'm
it.
going to send you a text and I'm going to be like,
Please,
this
please.
is who's going home
It
next
drives me
week.
crazy. I'm like, what does he mean by that? What does he mean by that? So
He's pretty straightforward of like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh no, he did the well.
yeah.
I'm like, that's not good.
For my my last week, it was kind of hard because every single week there's always like that little doubt that you're like, there's no way I'm gonna make it through. Like, there's no way. The first 2 weeks I was like super confident because we had contemporary and then jazz, and then after that everything went downhill.
Oh my gosh, no.
Like me and Matt's salsa was so not good.
It was one, and I liked it. Sorry, I'll let you talk.
Okay.
It was like not our best, but we made the best of it, I guess. But then the next week we had Mia week, and I cried every single day that week because it was just
It's hard. We've got the Mia Michaels photo
That's
too.
a lot
I
of
think it's
Mia.
Matt. It should say Matthew and Audrey. It's the white. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one. Come out there. It is.
Yep. Well, the thing was, we'd be in rehearsal and Mia would be like, "Are you even dancing? Are you even trying?" And I was just like bawling my eyes out because
She
I
can
didn't
be
know.
tough.
I didn't know
Yeah,
what else I
tough.
could do, and that was a hard week. And so that was the week before I got sent home. So I think that week drained me so much. And then I had hip hop the next week, and I was like, dang it.
With Twitch, right?
Yes, with Twitch, which was such a dream come true. I was like, if I'm gonna do hip hop on the
Yeah.
show,
You do
like,
it with
at
Twitch.
least I'm doing it with Twitch.
The legend.
Yeah, and he was so awesome about it. Like he just helped me the whole time, and he was like so like encouraging and just really broke it down for me so I actually felt confident by the end. I was like, you know what? Maybe the judges will see this and they'll think I'm just like
going
really
through.
strong and everything, and maybe. And then when I was in the bottom with Whitney, I was like, okay, I'm going home.
Like, darn it. And that was a Dave Scott piece, right?
Yeah.
Which Dave
We
Scott.
came like out of a coffin,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
was
yeah.
we were dead people.
Yeah, and Dave Scott's, I mean, I love him. He's like, bam, bada ba bum bum. That's how he teaches.
That was good.
Thank you. I've been around Dave Scott a lot.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah, he was awesome too. I mean, he was so nice to me. Like,
And he
if I-
smells good, by the way.
Yes.
Just
always
people
smells
should know
good.
this. He always smells
Yeah,
good.
he's got it down.
It's
He's got it
true.
down.
Yeah. Interesting. I never really thought about it, but yeah,
Yeah,
he did
he
always,
always
smell
smells
good.
good. So if you run into Dave Scott, smell
Take a
him.
smell.
Just go.
Smell him.
I don't think he would mind. I actually think he'd be
Yeah.
like,
He'd
thank
be
you
like,
so much. With
Go
his
right
glasses
ahead.
on, like I
Yeah,
think
always.
he'd totally dig it.
Yeah.
I know, that's awesome. And you guys, of course, tour. I went back and watched the audition, the interview I did with you guys with a couple fan questions.
Oh my gosh, I watched that not too long ago too.
And
I'm
I was
scared. What is
laughing,
it?
and I totally don't even remember asking this question, but the question was about what did you guys do on tour? And you talked about like passing the pencil or passing,
The games we used to
yeah,
play.
pass the whistle.
We got in so much
Oh,
trouble.
no, yeah.
Mandy Moore was like,
Did she catch
She
you guys
let us
passing
have
the
it.
whistle?
Well,
Okay, so let everyone know. So here's what was happening. To keep you guys engaged
yes.
during a long tour, they would grab an object from off stage and then pass it to each other while they
During
were
the
all
routine.
during the routine on stage.
I don't think that was out there. Oh, did we tell them that in the thing?
You did in the
Oh, okay,
back
cool.
in 2013, 5
Perfect.
years
yeah, we
It's out,
ago.
it's out.
definitely
Alright.
talked
It's
about
out
it.
there.
Yeah, no, we definitely found ways to amuse
Because
ourselves.
because we were doing the same routine every single night, I think everyone was like, "Let's try something new," and like
Yeah.
wanted to like keep it interesting, which
And
is so bad.
We were
we
18.
were so young.
Yeah.
so
Never would we
Mandy
do that.
It
Moore-
now.
wasn't my idea. I'll just say that.
It was mine.
I want to know, was Mandy Moore in the audience one night giving you guys notes and she happened to catch you guys?
We did it in New York. She was there at that one.
I don't know if we did the pencil thing.
Here's the deal. Okay.
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna say
Mid
something.
tour, Mandy was there.
Did you not know she was there?
No, she was called because, we were.
It's okay. It's 5 years ago.
So yeah, it was 5 years ago. We kind of changed some stuff around in the show, and some things were not supposed to be done, and some people came out for numbers that weren't supposed to come out. It was I. And then Mandy came to surprise us, and then didn't tell us we were there. And
she was there, yeah.
Yeah,
was
she was
there,
there. She just caught it, but she just laid it on us like Mama Mandy does, and
She
we
was
learned
like,
our
"You guys
lesson
gotta
the
step it
hard
up."
way, which I think that was the hardest part, is that we had to learn this lesson with Mandy Moore.
But it's a
she's
good
Mandy Moore.
professional lesson.
100, yeah.
And everyone should listen to it. Don't do this if you go out on
Don't.
tour for season 15.
Yeah, just do what you're supposed to do.
Because
Yeah.
you're being paid as a professional.
Of course,
that's
yeah.
a good reminder. But you're 18, and it's something I would have done too.
Well,
so.
and over half of us were 18. That's
Yeah.
the other problem. We were such a young season. It was you, me, Whitney, Lindsay,
Tiffany.
Tiffany. We were all
Amelia.
18 years old.
Babies.
And so, I think there was very few. Yeah, George. He was 19.
Yeah.
There's very few adult people
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of hard too.
It makes sense. It totally makes sense. But
Yeah.
let this be a lesson, everyone.
Definitely don't do that.
I want to talk about a couple of choreographers because I think they both, actually, several. You guys have worked with Kristyn McQuaid quite a bit. And I've seen you guys on set with Kristyn and, working on her dance company. Also, Jaci Royal, obviously. And you've just started working with Marinda, which is
Yes,
amazing.
Marinda Davis. She's amazing.
Yes. So let's start with Kristyn because that's where I saw you guys in 2013. Did you know her from Oklahoma at all?
Yes. I actually met Kristyn when I was I think I was 15 or 16 at Adrenaline, actually. We were all at the same, her and a couple of her students and me and my duo partner, we were all at the same dance convention when I was 15 years old in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we met there. We all just kind of clicked. I think it's so bad. I think we were probably in the back of a tap class and trying to keep up, but we're laughing at each other and
Right.
kind of oh, you're here kind of sucking too, us too. And then we just bonded from that and grew up, and over time she was doing shows and pieces and so you think submissions and all that kind of stuff, and so I just stayed close with her, but it's been a while. We probably know each other for 10, 11 years now.
That's amazing.
Almost 10.
I think you got me in with Kristyn McQuaid. She needed another guy, and so you reached out to me and George.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's how I
But
got.
I can't remember.
It's okay though. But I think that's kind of interesting too because you guys are part of her Grace Vanderwaal trilogy.
I know.
Yes. So you did Light the Sky and you did Moonlight. Am I
Yes.
correct? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that one.
And there was this recent one with Kayla.
Florets. Yes.
I was supposed to do that. It was so sad.
you
Yeah, I couldn't do
Yeah,
that
I
one
had to
either.
go to China, so I had to
no,
call
I
out.
didn't. Sorry,
Right.
I was thinking of the other one. I couldn't do
You couldn't
You're
do Like the
One-
Sky.
Yes.
Like the Sky.
Yeah, Florette's is the most recent one.
Yeah.
But it's a really beautiful sort of
It's
body of
stunning.
work. If
Yeah.
anyone hasn't seen it, you need to go. Kristyn McQuaid's YouTube channel has
She's
it.
killing it.
She
Really.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of her.
Yeah. What is working with Kristyn like? I always find it interesting. Like, what is
So
she?
fun.
She's crazy.
She's one of the funniest people
Yeah.
ever. She's hilarious.
100%. She honestly, I relate to her a lot. I feel like we're both really nuts and crazy, and we say things, and there's not an ounce of a filter. Like there's just nothing there. It was said, we can't take it back. So like she's a crazy, wild, free spirit, but she also knows what she wants, and she won't back down from that
Yeah.
either. So that's cool too. Like she puts play and work really well together.
Yeah,
That,
for
that
sure.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And how did you guys start working with Jaci Royal?
You go first.
Well, when I first moved to California, I actually went to a Royal Flux show. I think it was like 2014 maybe. And I watched it. It was at like a little tiny theater, and Matthew was in it. That's why I went. So he used to dance for her too. And so I was like, oh, I'll go watch. And I watched it, and I was like, dang. And I saw so many people that I knew from like the dance world. And I was like, I want to be in it. I wish I was in it dancing. And so it just kind of drew me to her. And then I think a couple months after that, Matthew asked if I was available because Jackie wanted to use me for a So You Think submission. So that was the first time I worked with her. It was just like 4 girls, so it was super intimate, and it was just very cool. And I just like loved working with her. I don't know, the way her mind works is brilliant. It's just so great.
Her choreography is so out of the
Like
box.
her imagery is like, it's like my favorite thing. And then so that was in like May, and then later that year in December I auditioned for a company, and I made it, and here we are.
How about for you?
I think it was for, so Jeff Thacker, the executive producer of So You Think, he always holds these showcases for choreographers to present work. And he always says to the choreographers, as much alumni from So You Think that you can get to be in them, the better. Because he just likes to see us and he trusts us, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's why.
He likes
Scouting
to
for new all-stars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
But so I think that's what it was for me. She just said, "Hey, Will, would you like to come in and do this one number?" We did it, and it was great, and it was fun. And then I got a text actually, I think like about a month later when I was at Nationals for LA Dance Magic. She said, "Hey, will you come in and do a couple of numbers for our show this summer? It's in August. You only have like 1 month to learn as much as you can, but." Would you like to do it? So from then on, I said yeah. And the next day from Nationals, we had the banquet. The next night, I drove to rehearsal for this time. And
good
from
times.
then, I was like in love. I loved it.
It's by far my favorite thing to do.
There's just something, and this is why I'm like, I literally want her on the show. And she never
Yeah.
does press line on So You Think. We were talking about this
We're gonna get
before
her
the
here.
show.
Yeah,
Because-
Jackie,
You're coming
you're gonna come.
right
is
here
it.
in the
If
middle
you're
of
watching,
us.
when you watch this, you're
And when
gonna
she
come.
sees me with the mic backstage at So You Think, season 15,
Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. I'm actually now going to put the publicist on it. That's what I'm going to do.
Do it.
They,
No,
do
they
it.
will do it. They will drag her onto the press
Do
line.
it. Do it.
Say,
That's
"There
what
was a
she
request."
needs.
She does. She does.
Yeah.
But her work is so incredible. I feel like she's right here, bubbling underneath the surface of like just that big breakthrough of like the Travis, level, Derek Huff, like Mandy Moore, all of the ones that were all
got
Sonia.
chills.
I do, seriously.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to like, I want her to do press because I'm like, you need to let the world know that you are here. And obviously you're doing World of Dance. You guys did season 1 and you joined season 2. You were busy
Yes.
doing Pitch Perfect 3.
Yes. I was
So
so
fun.
sad, but it was exciting. But
Yes.
I was so bummed I had to
We
drop
missed
out.
you.
Yes. Can we talk a little bit about season 1? Because
Yeah.
I think I actually sent you a DM after, and I was like, I'm a little frustrated with this. You guys went up against Super Crew,
yeah.
who did a Michael Jackson number with some amazing tricks, which were incredible. Super Crew is legendary. It was
Yes.
really hard to do apples and oranges, but that's the way the duels go.
Yeah, it is.
But you guys were kind of amazing. And it was
Thank
so out of
you.
the box. That's why I was like, and the score was so close. I actually watched it again today, and I
Was
was
it
looking.
close?
It was. It was
can't remember.
89 for Super Crew and 86.3 for you guys.
Okay.
And so, really, to me, sometimes I think that World of Dance does tip in favor hip hop or that style a little bit more. So I almost felt like that. Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say it. You don't have to say it, but I'll say it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's just harder to relate to contemporary, like in general, with an audience. Like you don't always see it as much as hip hop, especially like in the commercial world and what's exposed to the world. It's like hip hop's definitely the front end of it.
Yes, for sure. And I think the way that both seasons play out, it's interesting just to see how. I think every show has its place, and sometimes maybe I think so. You think favors contemporary sometimes more than other shows.
I absolutely agree.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
it does.
Everyone has their place.
Yeah.
How did you guys leave that experience? How did you feel at the end of season 1? Did you feel a little frustrated? Because I felt frustrated.
Yeah, it's funny because we actually felt super happy because we actually hit the routine. Like what you don't see in the show is that we were struggling up until our actual performance in the duels.
Because you had the harness on. I think people remember that.
Yeah,
so.
we used harnesses the first year, and it was supposed to be like our thing, and we used ropes the first. You didn't see the first round either, but we used ropes, and so we were like throwing people around and using those ropes to kind of dance. And then the next week we took the ropes off and we still used the harnesses, but we tried not to make it as like obvious that they were the main focus. But we still used them. But because it's such a short like turnaround and like from week to week, it was like we performed the first piece, and then about a week later we had to be ready for the second piece.
Oh, it was quick.
It was so quick. Yeah,
It was
this year
set up differently.
This
between
year's
season 1
was
and
way
2.
different. Yeah. Last year it was so hard to just like be ready again. Yeah, it was like, well, they also filmed every single day, so they would film like the groups, or what is it, upper division? I can't keep up. Upper division
team
first.
Yeah, so
And then they did like the younger junior division, and then they did it like consecutive days. So by the time our next film day rolled around, they had still been filming. So it was just all really quick, basically. So we were just like really trying to pull it together because our first routine was just hard to perfect too. So as soon as we had that one down, then we had to like start focusing on the second one, and it was just like really hard. And
a lot.
we never fully hit the routine until we performed it.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah. we were
with
terrified.
Flux,
I was crying
sometimes.
probably 30 minutes before we went on stage because I was
You're a
so
very
nervous.
emotional girl. I love this.
I literally cry a lot.
That's okay. That's a real emotion. Are
You
you gonna,
might see it this season.
No, I
I'm
cry
just saying.
every 2 seconds.
Oh, that's good. I like because it's real. Do you know what I mean? It makes you.
Look away. Look away. I could just do it on I don't know.
love
I could
it.
think
Yeah.
or feel.
We're both pretty emotional.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Very.
It's
Our rehearsals start with laughs, then cry, and then let's throw Audrey around.
perfect.
That's how it goes.
Now that we know how rehearsal goes for you guys.
Yeah.
What inspired you guys to come back for season 2? Because I know for some crews that were asked back, they were like, the experience in season 1 was a little bit frustrating, and they decided to move on. Other people, I think, felt like you had a lot to prove. Was that kind of where you were, the boat you guys were in?
That's definitely where we were. We felt like we needed to redeem ourselves and kind of do it for contemporary, because we did lose to Super Crew, and they are amazing, and like we can't do half of the stuff that they can do, but we also felt like there's a lot of people out there that can't do what we can do.
Right.
So I think we just wanted to show that to everyone and kind of just do it for Flux, you know?
Yes, and you guys will be on an upcoming episode of World of Dance.
Very
Just so everyone
soon.
knows, the qualifiers are going like 10 weeks, so it's a very long first round. They cannot say exactly when they're going to be on, but soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon. But it's not tonight for sure, because they've already released the cast list, so you guys will know that they're not on tonight. But soon.
You're probably going to see some
Maybe
tears.
a preview.
A preview
tonight.
of tears.
Maybe for the night. What?
You can't. And obviously, we
I said you might
can't.
see some tears.
We'll see more tears.
Yeah,
Now,
for
obviously,
sure.
we can't talk about any sort of outcome or anything else like that. But in general, did you feel like your season 2 experience was better or different or?
You answer that because you do both.
You can give a general, generic, maybe adjective.
At first, I thought it seemed better.
Okay.
And then kind of got worse by the end. Oh, there's a picture.
That's the one from the TV
yeah.
Academy. That's from season 2. There's Will like
Sticking his belly out.
doing a good old lunge.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm going to say our experience was
A roller coaster.
a roller coaster.
do
Yeah,
that.
that's a
Okay,
very
yeah.
great way to put it.
Just trying to spin it.
Yeah,
But
Since we
it's
can't
an
talk.
exciting one. I'll tell you
It
that.
is
Stay
very
tuned because it
definitely want to watch it.
not what you're thinking.
How did you feel where you're walking into this, knowing some of their experience, but you're
Yeah.
walking into this with them? So, what was that like?
Honestly, it felt good and stressful because I felt like I had extra armor because they already been through this whole process. So it wasn't new to the whole group. We weren't babies there. We were alumni almost, or coming back again. So I felt safe with them being there for the first time. For us individually, there's a couple of us that came to the group for the second season, and it felt a little bit pressure too because they've already been here. They know the ropes. Now we're adding to the group. We should go further than, it just felt like, okay, pressure's on,
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah, it was good, and just pressure. But overall, I did enjoy the experience. It wasn't exactly what I thought it would be.
What did you think it was going to be?
Less stress.
Okay.
I don't know why. I thought that maybe because of So You Think You Can Dance.
You had that under your belt.
Yeah, I feel like that's like an ultimate stressor. Because we're all soloists going in alone to compete.
And you're on live shows. This is taped.
Yeah, and it's live. Yeah, so that's a whole other layer. But it was more stressful World of Dance for sure. But then again, what we're doing is Flux,
It's pretty
and that
stressful.
is never. I don't think walk into a show
Feeling
we got it.
super confident.
Because you're taking risks.
Exactly.
It's
There's
totally outside the
always
box.
risks.
Box, yeah.
There's so many risks.
But that's what makes Flux. So
And that's why we love it so much
Yeah.
too. It's like the challenge of it is like unlike something that you can do anywhere else.
It's a little dangerous, like in a good way.
It is so
what I mean?
dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie will sit there and she'll just give us, her ideas, and it's funny. And we were talking about this yesterday or the other day. We don't know how to tell her no. Like, and it's not because she's scary or she's mean or she's anything like that. It's just
something about her.
Yeah.
That she'll just like ask you to do something, and then we keep trying it until she finally is like, okay, it's not working. Like, but we will try it like 30 times until she's like, okay, let's try something else. Like, but like
But you want to work for her. I love that though. You have respect.
There's
and-
something about her that makes you pulls it out of you.
Well, I'm glad you guys did come back because I know I sent a DM to you at some point. I was like, I'm just
Probably, Definitely.
I do. I voice my opinion sometimes,
I
and
love
I'm
it.
like, oh,
Hey, someone needs to.
I'll say it. Yeah, I'm like, I'll say it, you guys. I also love that I knew you guys were going to be back, and I knew a lot of people were going to be back because everyone in January, February, and early March was posting lunch from the same tent in Universal City, and I was like, that's interesting because
Rudy's
the-
crew.
yeah, I was literally like, Rudy is hanging out at the same place that Will and Audrey are, and by the way, the lab is over there too. Like, I was laughing because I'm like, everyone thinks they're being super subtle, like we're not
Right.
telling anyone. They haven't announced the cast, and I'm like, y'all are in the same tent,
Right.
And y'all are in
Yeah.
the same table and chair.
That's
With
Definitely.
World of Dance water bottles.
Yeah.
Like,
I have my World of Dance water bottle
Yes,
too. Yes, it's so funny. But
That is true.
I was like, if NBC wanted to know how to find out about the cast, I'm like, you just go to
Yeah.
Instagram stories.
Let's go there.
I think we even tagged like Universal a couple
Yes,
times.
there was a
too.
lot of Universal City tags.
I'm not good with secrets.
Probably
I'm just gonna
shouldn't
say
do
it.
it, but-
If you tell me some, I'm sorry. I don't know. You might get out.
There could be a lot of
I just like
reasons
talking.
that we were there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was like
You decided to stop by to say hi to Rudy, a brew,
Yeah.
who just happened to be at
And
Universal.
Ellen, good friend.
old
We
Rudy.
could just go
Ellen.
see Ellen, the
Yeah,
generous.
Ellen just hit me up.
Yeah.
And I just,
She was
Hey,
like,
boo.
stop
Went
on
to her.
by.
in the area.
Yeah, just stuff like that. That was one of my favorite things. Though I was like, I love this, and this is me like all day. Like I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
well, I'll write down Royal Flux and back. I keep a running notebook of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I'll get sources will tell me like
Of
so and so
course,
is
you got
coming
to.
or we're on, and I'm like, so I'd have this running list. But I was like, Instagram
you got
stories
the
is my
scoop.
best source.
it's very true.
It is very true.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. I would love to talk a little bit, Will, about working with Miranda Davis because, I think a lot of people saw her piece with Julianne Hough on Dancing with the
So
Stars.
good.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
I just did an interview with her. It was an article, but just, talking about her journey and her challenges and I mean, living with a terminal illness, several of them, not more than one. What is like working with her?
okay, I don't want to butcher this. But yes, so Miranda Davis, she's an incredible, incredible woman, choreographer, dancer. I believe she's 36 years old. And she has about 8 diseases, one of them being lupus, which is a disease in the blood, cancer in the blood, not cancer.
Not a cancer.
See, I didn't want to make that wrong. And so...
But autoimmune, so.
Yes, and the life expectancy is 40 years old. So it's really... Looking at her, I don't know how to not get chills. I just see how strong she is, and I know like what she's going through, and I can't know what it feels like at all. But so what happened was she wanted us to do this piece, and I'm gonna just explain it.
Do it.
It's a piece about her and her best friend Charlie Fournier, and it's basically her process going through chemo. So there's 2 chairs. I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm trying to make light of the situation, make the awkward tension into a bright room, and just trying to make her smile. And we danced to the song called Smile. And then Alyssa, my partner, was Miranda, and we had a UV. She was connected to it the whole time, and it was really, really, I'm freezing talking about it, really impactful. And just knowing that she is so close to home to her.
You really do have goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm
like, that's
freezing.
amazing.
It's crazy.
It's a lot.
We just filmed it about last week, so we're going to put it online pretty soon.
Oh, good.
So it's going to go out there. But yeah, she's an incredible woman. She has a show coming up in New York City, so look out for it. I don't think I can do that one, but yeah, she's incredible.
And if anyone didn't see, she is a part of the series My Last Days,
Yes.
CW. Justin Baldoni does the series, and if you have the CW app, it's free. You can watch it. She was on the premiere episode.
First episode, yeah.
Yeah, first episode. So be sure to check that out because
really good.
really an incredible story. And Julianne comes over her house and is like, "Can I play you?" That's so you see how the Dancing with the Stars piece came to life,
Yeah.
and I think that is incredible. And I asked her if she submitted it for the Emmys for this coming season, and she did.
Yes.
So we will know
Fingers
about
crossed.
Emmy nominations July 12th, just so everyone. I know. I'm always like, I love that day because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
who's the choreographer? Because I get to spend like the whole season following them, so it's really fun.
Miranda says hi, by the way.
Thank
Wanted
you.
to tell you that.
Yes, I appreciate that. I'll give her a big hug. I need to see her in person. So,
Yeah.
the other thing I want to ask you about, Audrey, last year you stepped in at the last minute for Allison Holker in season 14 with Logan. And if I'm correct, that was week 1 of the live shows.
It was the first live show. That
How
was
did that-
just so
how did that-
whirlwind.
How did that come about? Like, did you get a phone call, like, or a text, like at 10 p.m. at night or something?
So I think it was like, it's so funny. Me and my boyfriend had gone to church, and then we were just kind of like hanging out at his place, and I was like laying down. I was like, maybe I'll take a nap. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. Like, maybe we'll get some food and cook pizza or something. And then I get a call around like 6 o'clock, and it was Tice, and I was like, hello? And he was like, hi, Audrey, this is Tice Diorio from So You Think You Can Dance.
What?
I was like, you could have just said Tice Diorio, and I could have figured it out. But he was like, hi, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. Like, why are you calling me? And he
I'm
was
Audrey
like,
from season 9.
yeah, this is Audrey from
I'm in
season
top
9,
10.
So You Think You Can Dance. It's so funny. Yeah, but I was just like, wait, what? And I was like, started to kind of shake a little bit. I was like, oh, did I do something wrong? Like, what
You're in
happened?
so much trouble.
You never know.
Dance
You
trouble.
never
What kind
know.
of dance trouble are you in?
So he called me. He was like, I have a problem. Allison hurt her
back.
shoulder.
It was her
Yeah, it was
shoulder,
her
that's right,
shoulder.
yeah.
She was like hurting really bad. He was like, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to do the show. And Logan is her partner. Would you want to step in for her and learn this piece? You'd have to learn it tonight and perform it tomorrow. And I was just like, huh? Like, my immediate reaction was to say no. Like, I wanted to be like, no, I can't.
You
I'm
have to
sorry.
do it.
But, like, yeah, you can't not try to do it. So I was like,
So, did you know Logan at all?
I did.
Okay, so
Yes,
that helps a lot.
That did help. Yeah, we had worked like Jump and Dance
Good.
Awards and all of that. So I knew him from
Was that a
Break the
factor in
Floor.
in them bringing you in? Do you know?
I talked to Tice about it. He had seen Royal Flux's performance the week before at Dancer Palooza.
And that's how it goes.
And then he I popped into his head. He said just
People,
For
I'm just
replacement.
going to, I'm going to say this over and over again. You have to keep working. You have to keep taking class. You have to keep networking. Because
Yeah.
that's it. That's why you got it.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He was like, I literally saw you last week in Royal Flux's performance, and then I talked to Mandy right away. I was like, how about we bring in Audrey? And then I called you. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like, so excited. And I didn't even know Tice was in the audience to see us. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then, I drove down to CBS. Wait, it's CBS.
It's CBS
right?
Studios,
Okay, just
Television
had to
City.
double check.
Yep.
Drove down to CBS and like worked a little bit in like their green room area. Just started learning it.
I can't imagine.
It was so like I was terrified.
It's not an easy number either. I went back and watched
Yeah.
it again, and I was like, that's not an easy number.
Yeah, I was just like I was trying not to like overthink it. I was just like, you know what, you can do this. I was trying to be
You're a pro.
confident.
Yeah.
And Tice was like so supportive the whole time. And I had never really worked with Tice on the show or anything. Like I didn't really work with him except for the group piece we did. So I didn't really know what to expect or anything. But he was so encouraging and was like, "You're nailing this. I'm so glad you're doing this," and like so happy about it. And so I worked till about 11:30 midnight that night with Logan at like a studio nearby. And then went home, woke up for camera blocking the next day.
Like, you have to be at the
Was
studio at like
chill.
5, 6 a.m. on camera day.
Yeah. Well, it was better for me because I didn't have to do the group.
Oh, that's right.
The
You did
group
your
piece.
You're-
So I literally just like, I think it was like 9, 10 o'clock call time. And I like strolled in and I was like, I didn't know if I was actually going to do it. Because Allison still was like, okay, I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. So I was just
That's
waiting.
even worse. Just
Yeah, because I didn't
waiting.
know.
Wow.
All night I was just like going through it in my head.
She couldn't do it,
Over.
so
Yeah, she couldn't do it. And then, we did camera blocking around like 11 a.m. that day. And show was at, what, 3 or 4 or 5? 5. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
And I was just like, it was crazy how nervous I was because I was like almost like throwing up a little bit. I was being calm for Logan because I know it was his first show
Yeah.
and he was like, I'm sure he was stressed. So I was like, you know what, I gotta be here for him. And I'm gonna be like,
It
just-
looks really
yeah.
good. I hope you've
Thanks.
gone back and watched it a few times. You
It's
should
so
be really
good.
proud.
I have.
It's so good.
So good.
I am proud of it. Like I just still can't believe it was just like a day.
So has Jeff Thacker made you an all-star yet?
No,
Come on, dude.
Come
it
on.
hasn't.
Come on, Jeff.
I'm like, come on, hit me up, Jeff.
Papa Jeff.
Come on. hit me up.
I was like, if that's not like proving your medal, like seriously, I don't know.
Yeah,
All right.
no, but I was so grateful for that. That
I'll
was
just
so
march
cool.
up to him backstage this year and be
Yes.
like, I did
So,
that.
Audrey.
I did that for somebody else, and he was like, he was like, I'm not taking suggestions right now.
He's like, thank you, but no thanks.
I don't need your help to do my job. I'm like, I know you don't. You're great
That's
at
Jeff
it.
for you.
He's great at his job.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm
Yeah.
like, but what about? We only have a couple minutes, but I always just like to ask, where do you guys see yourselves going in the next few years? There's so many opportunities in the dance industry, like even going into choreography
question.
and direct, creative director and teaching and everything else. So
Well, okay, so I'll give you 2 routes here. I'm going to give you our route.
The dynamic duo route? I like
Yes,
this.
because we have some plans. We have some goals that we have. And then I'll have a personal one as well. For me, eventually, I would like to take the director's chair.
great.
I love choreographing, and I probably will have that part of my life as well. But I love having a vision and then getting all the pieces together to make it happen. And I love being the leader, and I love being putting on that hat too. So for sure, directing. And I have a lot of things up here that I just gotta get out. So that's my ultimate goal.
Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. For Audrey and I both, I can just say it.
Yeah, go
Want me
for
to say
it.
Or you want to say it? You say it.
No, you say it.
Oh my God, stop.
This is so cute. It's a meet cute.
So what we just started. We fell in love with dancing with each other. So back about almost a year ago, a little bit less, we started working on this duet called "Heaven I Know" with Jaci Royal. And
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1.
That, if you didn't understand my intro to the show, go back and watch it on
Yes.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, there's a
There
picture.
it is. Will is back there somewhere.
Can you see me?
Will's face is in my butt.
Oh, gross.
That is friendship.
Yeah, right. So what we would like to do is, for lack of a better word, Maddie Ziegler is for Sia. We would like to do that for an artist. So we love
Yeah.
artists, and we latch on to albums. We do.
Like we love James Bay.
Yes.
We're into Gordy right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Like
So
there's so many.
We would love
but-
to be like their canvas, to portray their story or their album, and then
love
we,
that.
act it out. And that's something that we thought about for a while, and we kind of like the idea.
Justin Bieber even did that with an album.
Exactly,
Yes. Yeah.
So
So we'd love that. That's like a dream for sure.
for the both of us. But
super
if you have
excited.
individual ones, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, I feel like for me right now, I just am trying to dance as much as I can until I can't anymore. That's like my number one goal because I know it's not going to last forever. Because, I mean, obviously your body, you get older. And,
But if you take care of it, you can.
Yes, very
yes,
true.
yes.
Very true. So I'm just going to dance as long as I can. But I mean, we've kind of started to play around with choreography too, even together.
And teaching.
And I mean, I do love it. Like, I could see myself someday, like, hopefully putting on a show for someone, even just like the El Portal, like everyone usually does. Like, that would be really cool for me. I would love to step into the choreographer's shoes someday.
I love that. I can't wait to see what's next, you guys. And I want to say that this show is because of the fans. They were like, I want them together. And I was like, so I've had so many requests. They're like, I want Will and Audrey together. And this was, I think, even before your duet, like with Jaci.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like,
Oh,
so it's
wow.
been brewing in their
Thanks,
minds
guys.
too. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I was like, thanks for your suggestions. I do listen to you guys. And I'm so excited you guys were here. So this was a really fun show.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
Of
Yeah,
course.
seriously.
Remind everyone where they can find you on all those amazing Dance 9 accounts.
Ooh, Twitter is Dance9 Audrey. I don't use it very often, sorry. Instagram is @Audrey Case.
Twitter is Dance9Will, and I also don't use it that much.
should be
But
very.
Instagram, I do use Will_Thomas9.
There's the old Dance 9.
There's
All right,
that.
you guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week. I'll be letting you guys know who the guest is a little later on in the week. But for more dance news, be sure to check out dancenetwork.tv. Thank you so much to Popcorn Talk.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Thank you, Popcorn Talk. Now let's eat it.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.
Lit up heaven